The moment when the link between reality and the movies would finally be broken, filmmakers around the world made passionate movies about emotions, not spaceships or other worlds. The story starts here in snowy Iran. Take this extraordinary film, The Apple, based on a true story. A handheld camera moves into the enclosed world of this girl. Her father thinks that the outside world is so scary and dangerous that he's done something remarkable to her and her sister. The film's director, Samira Makhmalbaf.
اتفاقی من خونه خاله‌ام بودم، تلویزیون روشن بود و این گزارش رو تهیه کردن که یه پدر و مادر حدود 11 سال 2 تا بچه‌شون رو توی خونه حبس کردن و اونا رو دیدم که نمیتونستن صحبت کنن و به جای اینکه شبیه انسانا باشن شبیه حیوانات رفتار می‌کردن. مثلا توی فیلم سیب اگه قرار بود من قضاوت کنم، ساده‌ترین راه این بود که بگم اوکی تمام تقصیرها گردن پدر این 2 تا دختری که زندانشون کرده و نذاشته که اینا روابط اجتماعی داشته باشن. اما اگه قضاوت نکنی میتونی دوست داشته باشی، میتونی بری حرف طرف مقابلت رو گوش کنی و دلایلش رو بشنوی. یعنی لیوا این توش چیه؟
This is the scene where the girls come blinking back out into the real world. They taste it. They're shy. Makhmalbaf captures the gentleness of the moment. It's remarkable that she didn't judge the parents for doing this to the girls. But what's even more remarkable is that these aren't actors playing the girls. The girls and the dad play themselves. Not in a straight documentary about what happened, but in a kind of self-role play or reenactment. A risk that worked because the family found the process therapeutic. And the film feels like an extraordinary, intimate myth about modern parental love gone wrong. The real-life event was so fertile, so moving, that Makhmalbaf used film to double back over it. This doubling back so that the real experience can fertilize the film was unique to Iranian cinema of this time. This is Makhmalbaf's dad, Mohsen, in exile from Iran in Paris. He doubled back on reality too. His film, A Moment of Innocence, is even more remarkable than his daughter's. In the early 90s, Mohsen Makhmalbaf put an advert in a newspaper asking for non-professionals to come to a casting call. Nothing unusual in that. But one of the people who showed up to audition for a part in Makhmalbaf's film was a policeman who Makhmalbaf had stabbed way back in the 70s when Makhmalbaf was a teenager fighting the Shah's regime. Makhmalbaf loved this. He scrapped his planned film and decided instead to make one about the stabbing. He recreated the events on camera from the attacker's point of view, and, even more unusually, he asked the policeman, who of course had never made a film before, to recreate them from the victim's point of view. Here's a scene from the film, directed by the policeman. He films himself, he's the taller of the two guys here, telling a young actor who's playing him in the 70s how to behave. The policeman films in a panning shot from far away and has cast quite a handsome actor as his younger self. Already he's trying to make what happened a touch more glamorous.
پاسبونی چیه؟ از پاسبونی سر در بیاره. حالا کجا داریم میبریم حالا؟ حالا این بریم آموزش پاسبونی بیاد بدن. حالا برو واسه اونجا. فرض کن اینجا در خونه یه تیمساره. خب. کلاتو بذار سرت. کلات رو نمیشه سرت. رو نمیشه چی کلاتو بذار سرت؟ خبردار وایستا. ببین اینجا خونه تیمساره.
Again, we have doubling back on a found experience to imbue it with extra intensity. In this case, the doubling back revealed something unexpectedly moving. In the days of the stabbing, the policeman was in love with a girl, and he thought that she might love him back. During the shooting of the film, 20 years later, the policeman discovered, to his dismay, that she was only pretending to like him, to distract him, because she was a revolutionary too, and in cahoots with Malbaff. Here's Malbaff's restaging of the moment where the real policeman discovers that the love was not real. An actress playing the girl walks quickly with the actor playing the young Malbaff. The real policeman has now seen that she was with the young Malbaff, and, upset, he puts his hand in front of the camera to stop the filming.
جناب خانم میبخشید شما به زبانی آقای مخملبافی؟
بله.
من شرمنده‌ام. نمیتونم. چی شو؟ نمیخوام بازی کنم.
گردا برو پاشوا. حالا چیسن؟
برو دنبالش بازم زده به سرش.
He's carried a flame for her all these years, and it's just gone out.
گلدون من مواظبش باش. از این خانم یه سوالی کرد. ناراحت شد رفت.
چی پرسید خانم؟
به من شما جوونی آقای مخملباف
Malbaff ends this film about life reworked exquisitely. Beautiful close-ups, haunting music. The girl asked the policeman the time.
ببخشید سرکار شما میدونین ساعت چنده؟
Will he be stabbed? Will he shoot her? A moment of innocence. Then Malbaff improves on what really happened in the 70s. He offers flowers for Africa, as he put it, and bread for the poor. A Moment of Innocence is the single greatest work of autobiography in cinema. It brilliantly shows that not only fantasy films like The Matrix are fascinating, but fasten your seatbelts, because the story of reality in the last days of celluloid is about to get even more complicated. In the 90s, this Iranian filmmaker, Abbas Kiarostami, seemed to worship reality in a way that few artists ever did. He started by trying to reduce all falseness from the process of filmmaking.
گفتم که من سعی میکنم که وقتی گفتم حذف عوامل، حذف نور، حذف شود که کلاکت، حذف تراولینگ، حذف کربدارلی و همین داستانی که شما دارین، مهمتر از همه حذف کارگردان به نظر من. ولی حذف کارگردان معناش حذف مؤلف نیست. کارگردانی اینجا بر من شبیه این کوچای فوتباله که اینا تمام کاراشون از قبل باید انجام بدن، یاراشون رو باید به موقع انتخاب بکنن بر اساس استعدادایی که دارن، ولی موقع مسابقه باید بشینن یه گوشه‌ای مثل تماشاگرها و حرص بخورن یا سیگار بکشن یا عصبی بشن یا خوشحال باشن و دیگه موقع بازی وارد بازی این نابازیگرا نشن.
This film, Where's the Friend's House, is a triumphant result of Kiarostami filming like a football coach. He selected a great young player, actor, Babak Ahmadpour, put him in a world that he knew, this ordinary courtyard house in northern Iran, kept the camera on the sidelines and asked Babak to do scenes he could understand. Here he talks to his mother about his homework book.
جلاشون مثل همه اینا این مال محمد رضا نمزاده اینم مال من.
خب دیدم چیکار کنم؟
باید ببرم بهش بدم.
فردا میبریم مدرسه میری؟
فردا بدم معلمون باش دعوا میکنه.
Whereas The Friend's House was one of the greatest films about childhood and friendship.
حواسش کجا؟
But then tragedy struck. A terrible earthquake hit the region whereas The Friend's House was filmed. 50,000 people died, including 10,000 kids. Kiarostami and his crew drove there at once in tears to look for Babak. Instead, when they got there, they found something else, human resilience. In looking for one thing, they found another. And so Kiarostami decided to make a film about them going to an earthquake zone to look for the boy. Reality doubling back on itself again. It was called And Life Goes On.
ما در واقع در سناریوی فیلم زندگی و دیگر هیچ متناسب با همون واقعیت اون روزی که روز سوم زلزله من به این منطقه رفتم طراحی شد، برای اینکه اون روز هم ما بچه‌ها رو پیدا نکردیم.
آقا بهرانه نه اینو میشناسی؟ این؟ بله میشناسم. کیه؟ این پسر عبدالله کوکری هم فیلمم بازی بکنه.
This man's playing Kiarostami. In this shot, it was Kiarostami himself who was behind the camera talking to the man. And the second film's mostly set in the car.
توی فیلم دومم ما دنبال دوستانمون میگشتیم، ولی به یه چیزی رسیدیم که مهمتر از اون بود، ما اونم شور زندگی در همون فاجعه‌ای که عرض کردم.
On the second shoot, Kiarostami met a man called Hussein who had a passionate story about life going on. Hussein got married just days after the earthquake. Kiarostami loved this. Here, in the second film, using a static camera and naturalistic dialogue, Kiarostami depicts himself meeting Hussein and hearing this story.
بله. چند وقته؟ 5 روز. 5 روز یا 5 ماه؟ 5 روز.
Whilst filming this small scene, Hussein, despite being married, became rather infatuated with the woman playing his fiancée. She, however, did not return his feelings. Kiarostami was fascinated by this. His response to it was unique in movie history. 2 years later, he made this whole third film about the feelings during Hussein's small scene in the second film. The same actors, the camera's still static, but it's further back this time. We see a director who's playing the man who was playing Kiarostami. Hussein goes upstairs to try to woo the new woman. An objective frontal shot. And then Kiarostami films from her position and then his point of view. Through the Olive Trees was about Hussein's infatuation, but also, you could say, Kiarostami's love of his love and how he tried to film it, and how cinema can film the complex layers of reality, and how cameras can change lives.
صحبت کردم یات ننه خدا بیامرزم را صحبت کردم یات مارم اونم که اوشان پیرن همه جوانان دل خبر ندارم خودشان جوانی اوشان یاد نیاد تونم
This complex trilogy about the circle of life and love had started 7 years earlier with this reserved boy filmed from the sidelines. 7 years later, filmed from a car, Kiarostami's favourite way of looking at the world. Babak suddenly appears again, taller but still serious. He was still alive after all. A country that didn't invent cinema, that wasn't rich enough to have a major film industry, a country whose religion, Islam, was in some way suspicious of imagery, was, in the last days of celluloid, using film devotionally, as if it's sacred, as if what it films is sacred. One critic said, "We're living in the era of Kiarostami." Just as the Lord of the Rings movies were coming at us like an express train, Kiarostami